there, this is Erica from Ever Educating, and this channel is teaching tips, tools, ideas, and resources for new college instructors. Last month's theme was Notion, which I'll link below, but this month's theme is Google. So we're going to cover using various tools in the Google Suite to assign assignments to your students, to curate resources for them, and also some videos on the Google Classroom, because not so much for teaching, because that's not very common at the college level, but perhaps you can use it as a portfolio piece so that when you're in the job market, you won't show them your actual students, right, your actual courses, but you can say, hey, here's a look at how I design my courses in an LMS, in an online space. You can access this because there is no personal information from my students in there. So we'll go ahead and have a Google themed month. Let's go ahead and dive in talking about the arts and culture tool. So here we are at the arts and culture page. And so this is artsandculture.google.com. You can get to it on the top right using the Google Apps icon. It's one of the ones listed. But there are a few pages on this website. So as a quick tour before we get into assignments, the home page has a lot of different spotlighted material. And this changes quite often throughout the week or the month, etc. So you can kind of go through here and get a sense of a snapshot of the different types of content on this website. So we'll go back to this in a second. So that's what this has. But then you also have the Explore page, which gets more into like categories and themes for you to focus on. So for example, you can say, okay, I want to focus on artists. I want to focus on art movements. I want to focus on historical figures. You can kind of keep going here and look at places. So if you keep on going, now it's Explore by time or by color. So it's very much a thematic page in this Explore page. Okay, so you can look at popular topics right now and look at that as well. So that's the second page. The third page is Play, and so these are various games. A lot of these require you to download Google Play, so potentially if you're doing like brain breaks in your classroom, maybe you want to see which one of these you can do and just project. A lot of these involve AI, so if you happen to be teaching AI, then potentially these can work for you too, as just kind of little snapshots of let's learn about how AI is being used here. So for example, with the Doodle Guide here, you have an AI audio and visual experiment exploring real-time feedback on your doodles. So you can look into that one. It has here mice in museums, an AI audio experiment here as well, AI audio. So there's definitely a lot of options here that include AI in case, again, you do want to do an assignment about how AI is being used in creative ways and kind of exploring the pros and cons, the ethics, etc. Then you might want to give this Play area a look because a lot of them feature the AI. So, and you do have down here as well, if you want to do assignments that have augmented reality, there are various ones here, right? So objects in augmented reality. You also have, I want to say here, pocket galleries. So an art gallery in your pocket. One that's pretty cool, again, if you're studying or teaching art, this projects art to scale in your home, so you can see how large or how small the art is. So again, this one might appeal to you, though a lot of these require getting Google Play in order to actually play them. Nearby, I'm not going to click because it just gives you ideas of museums and events tied to art and culture that are nearby where you live. And then favorites, you can favorite various things and then it will appear on that page. As far as assignments or activities using this website, there are obviously many options here. Something to consider is I think the home and the Explore pages are the ones that are best matching for assignments. But with Explore, you might decide to have students focus on a category for a writing project. So if you're teaching writing, if you're teaching, art, history, architecture, sculpting, fashion, etc., you might go to the website and decide, okay, well, I'm teaching art. I want you to go to the Explore page, go into art movements, and I want you to write a paper based off of one of the art movements that are included on this website. And it should include X, Y, and Z in that paper. Or I want you to look through the historical events, and I want you to dive deep into how one of these events connects to the modern day. Okay, so potentially writing assignments are one way of using this website, and you can either give them the specific area to focus on. So like, hey, I want you to go here and go to places and do this, Or it might be, go to the explore page and anything is fair game here. So look through it and decide what interests you and then write a paper that does, again, X, Y, or Z. Now, you don't have to keep it to just a paper. You might say, I want you to write a short lesson. We're going to pretend that your target audience is, middle schoolers, high schoolers, adults. And I want you to create a lesson on one of the topics that are featured on this explore page, right? The lesson should include X, Y, and Z, or to be a certain length if you're going to maybe do a video lesson for your students. So, or you might have, I want you to create a newsletter that features 5 elements of this explore page. And these 5 elements should be cohesive. They should, flow well together from the start of the newsletter to the end. So kind of, again, studying and practicing their writing skills, but also their visual literacy skills, their ability to do multimodal writing or multimedia writing, so you can get a bit more complex when assigning as well if you have them look at multiple aspects of the website to create a piece. So that's something to consider too. And then if you go to the home page, they have a lot of featured items, and this tends to change quite often on the page. But you might look through and decide, okay, if we go down here, keep on going down, maybe you want to do a street view. So if you're teaching history or you're teaching geography, culture, sociology, you can go here and say, all right, we're going to go into the Venice Grand Canal, and here's what it looks like. And then you can click these arrows and kind of go through and see the area around it, right? So this is something to consider too, of kind of just getting a glimpse into various places around the world. And so maybe you, again, do an activity analyzing what you see in the street view. And there's obviously more of them, not just these 4, but that's something to consider too if you are studying, again, a certain culture, a certain nation, state, country, etc. You might look through and see, hey, do they have anything that's featured in our study of, Asia, or our study of Honduras, or whatever the case may be. Keep going down. There's a lot here. So you always have a today in history. So potentially if you're doing a little like brain teaser or like opening small activity to begin your class, you might go to this page and see what's happening today in history and maybe kind of learn a bit about it, but also see, okay, how does this connect to the current day? Do we see any connections? How so? Let's dive into, a quick thinking exercise before we dive into the class. And of course, in that case, that can apply to any course you teach. Maybe there's a connection to your course immediately, or it can just be more of a general discussion to kind of, again, warm them up to discussion in your class. Then we keep going. We have today's topics as well, things that are recommended to you. Some of this involves using Google Play in order to access them. So that might interest your students who, again, might be very tech savvy. So you might let them know about this, maybe not do it as a class activity, but let them know that this is possible if they go through, and they can use your phone to do some of these activities as well with various art filters. So that might appeal as well. And again, we keep going down here, and as you can see, this is a very long page, so there's a lot to consider when doing assignments if you're using this particular website. So if you kind of keep going down here, you have 5 photographs, 5 consonants, right? So again, if you're doing something in different countries, you might see if any of these are featured on the page. And then you could also do time periods. So you can go through and look here and see if you're teaching the 17th century literature, maybe you might find a connection here with silver in the 17th century. So I really recommend just going through and seeing how this might connect to your classroom in various ways. Now, when you go to the Explore page, like I said, this is in various categories. So while writing assignments are the most obvious connection here, you can also consider doing activities where they have to connect your course material to something on this website. So this might be, okay, well, I'm teaching a course on physics. I want you to go to this website and find some connection to the concepts that we're learning this week or this month. Okay, so they can have to really dive in and do some exploring, do some research, so they can practice those skills using this website. How can you make connections with the class material by using this resource. And so they can go through and see what might make a connection for them when they're looking through the website. So on the whole, it lends itself most to liberal arts classrooms. It lends itself to writing classrooms because you could have them write so many different pieces on so many different topics. But I do think, even in STEM fields, you can kind of go through and see, what connections do I see between my course content and this website? And then it can kind of have a really visual lesson for your classroom, because anywhere you go on this website, there's a lot of images, there's less text, so you can really have this like bright look at something very visual when teaching a specific lesson. If you found this video helpful, click like and let me know. And again, subscribe to not miss out on the rest of the Google theme of the month, as well as any videos in the future. I'll link below some older videos as well. I have hundreds on this channel. So if you are new to teaching, I recommend subscribing, but also looking at those past videos too that can still be relevant to your experience.